Ugly Pumpkin, written and illustrated by Dave Horowitz. This is the time of year when people go out looking for just the right pumpkin. What do they need a pumpkin for? Well, for Halloween to make a jack-o'-lantern, right? What does a really good pumpkin look like to you? I really like big, fat, round pumpkins, right? I like them round and really bright orange. But what if a pumpkin had a different shape? What if it were tall and skinny instead of fat and round? This book is about a pumpkin like that. The pumpkin is the main character in the story. In fact, he is telling the story. He's sad because all the other pumpkins are chosen first. But wait, can pumpkins really talk? No, and that's why we know that this story is a fantasy. In a fantasy, things can happen that couldn't possibly happen in real life. I am the ugly pumpkin. As you can plainly see, of 100,000 pumpkins, none are quite like me. Does it look like all the other pumpkins are laughing at him? Kind of does, doesn't it? It looks like all of their jack-o'-lantern smiles are laughing and they're looking at him. Well, would you pick a pumpkin that looked like he did? I don't know. I kind of like the big, fat, round ones too. Since early in October, I've been waiting to get picked, but each time things start looking up. Look, it looks like that child is pointing at him, like he wants to choose him, but I can make a prediction here. I know the whole book is about not being chosen, and I can see a very nice, round, fat pumpkin behind him. I predict that the child is probably pointing to the pumpkin behind him. Since early in October, I've been waiting to get picked, but each time things start looking up, I end up getting tricked. Was my prediction correct? It was, wasn't it? He ended up getting that big fat pumpkin that was behind the ugly pumpkin. A skeleton came for pumpkins one bright and crispy day. I asked if I could get a ride. He laughed and said, "No way." Nobody seems to want the ugly pumpkin, do they? And when I said, "It's getting late and I don't have a home," he rolled his eye and said, "Goodbye," and left me all alone. Why does it say that the skeleton rolled his eye and not his eyes? Let's go back to the page before and look more closely at the illustration. Let's look at our skeleton more closely. Oh my goodness, he only has one eyeball, so he can't roll his eyes. He can only roll his eye. So I walked into November, where I happened on some trees. I asked if I could stay a while, and this time I said, "Please." Hey, I can infer something here. Halloween is in October, and October comes before November. So I can infer that the ugly pumpkin is Miss Halloween. That's too bad. The trees all started smiling, and then one finally spoke. "Take off your boots and spread your roots." Well, the ugly pumpkin asked really nicely and used his manners. Do you think that being polite helped? Do you think the trees really like him? Let's find out. Another cruel joke. Oh man, he's tricked again. I was really hoping they liked him this time. Those trees aren't very nice, are they? "I am the ugly pumpkin," I shouted to the sky. Wow, look at the size of those letters. He is really yelling this, isn't he? I wonder who's he talking to? and then it started raining, so I began to cry. Why do you think it started raining just then? I don't know, but this poor pumpkin, he's having just a terrible time, isn't he? I took shelter in a garden that was overrun with squash. I noticed something very odd and then thought, oh my gosh! You know what? I think I can infer again right here. I'm looking at the picture of the ugly pumpkin. And now I'm looking at the squash. And they look almost the same. So I'm inferring that he only thinks he's a pumpkin and that he's really a squash. Oh my gosh! I'm a squash! There's one page left, but before I show you, I want to tell you how good readers make pictures in their minds as they read. Do it with me. I see lots of vegetables sitting like people at a long Thanksgiving dinner table. The table has a white tablecloth. There's lots of food and everyone looks happy. Can you see that in your mind? Here's the way Dave Horowitz drew the picture. That doesn't mean that the picture in your mind was wrong. He just saw it a little differently in his own mind. At last it was Thanksgiving, and I found where I fit in. Now you know my story, so let the feast begin. Happy Thanksgiving! It looks like the ugly pumpkin has found a friend at last, doesn't it?